The much awaited Women's Premier League is going to start very soon, and the preparation for all the teams have already begun. I have with me a very special individual, someone whom the Indian cricket audience already knows because long ago he played for Kochi Tuskers Kerala, and that's the emotion that everyone got attached with him. But today he's here in a very different role, and in the second season as a coach of Gujarat Giants. Firstly, how was the experience about coaching a team in WPL last year? It was your first stint with a women's team here in India. How was that like?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I love being involved in women's cricket the last 2 years. I've sort of coached and been at management level in men's cricket up until then, and to be involved with women's cricket is really exciting. As our boss before, Sanjay, mentioned, it's growing daily, and I think with India winning the recent World Cup, I think the WPL now takes an extra significance this season. I think we'll get a lot more viewership, a lot more crowds in, and it's really exciting to be involved again.
I won't really go into the nitty-gritties of the technical aspects of the game, but Gujarat Giants did not have the best first two seasons. Last year they qualified for the final for the first time. How promising do you think the team looks right after the auction? I'm sure there must be a lot of planning with the captain, with the management. Are you happy with the way the auction went for you?
Yeah, we are. Like we kept the players, or a number of players that we really wanted to. There's always one or two in an auction that you think, you would have loved to go on your way, that it doesn't happen. But I think that happens. I'm sure every team would have the same situation. But to have, probably 95% of what we were after, both in terms of players back and also new players that we picked up in the auction, we came out of it really confident. We've got a number of local players, both experienced and young, highly talented. To get someone like Renuka, a recent World Cup winner, to lead our bowling attack. With someone like Kashfi, for example, we've got two Indian, class level bowlers in there, and with Kashfi being an all-rounder, we've got 6 unbelievable overseas players, so it's going to be very hard to choose the 4 out of those 6, and a number of players, young talent who we think have got the opportunity to, a bit like what Kashfi did last year for us, and to have breakthrough seasons and then hopefully play for India in the following 12 months. So as much as we're here to obviously win the competition, we'd love to keep producing Indian cricketers, because I think we've done that really well over the last couple of seasons.
Michael, Ashley pointed out a very interesting thing where she said that she is still trying to work on the way she communicates with the Indian player, because there are issues when it comes with communication, right? It's a different setup altogether. Do those challenges apply to you as well as a coach?
I think they do, especially to some extent when you've got new players coming in. But one of the things that Ash mentioned, which I'm very similar, is just to make sure you communicate with those players and get to know them, because they need to gain your trust as well. If you want to speak to them about doing something strategically or tactically on the field, they need to trust you and get to know you as well. So we've been lucky to have a really good lead in from about the 30th of December this year up until our first game on the 10th. So we've had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with the players, and really looking forward to it starting now. We've got a few more days of practice, but the communication part, to be honest, I think we've noted that down pretty well. We've got a lot of our players understand English really well, and the ones that don't, we've got help from our analyst Sarab or Praveen Tambe, who's our bowling coach, who we work really closely together. So if there's anything sort of needs to get across to a player that they may not fully understand, they assist with the communication as well.
Thank you so much, Mr.
No worries,
Klinga.
thank you.
A lot has changed for women's cricket here in India in the last few years, and it is especially accelerated in the last few months given India's victory in the recently concluded World Cup. Now that means that important skills in the WPL will also be given special attention, and one of them is fielding. I have with me perhaps one of the best wicket keepers of all time in women's cricket, Miss Sarah Taylor. Firstly, thanks for talking to NDTV. It's your first season. What are the expectations that you are walking in with the team here as a fielding coach?
My expectations are that obviously the overseas that we've got are unbelievable fielders, but that the domestic cricketers are getting better and better in terms of fielding, catching, all of that stuff, and every facet of the game, I'd say. But look, I'm just going to try and bring a great fun ethos to fielding, but try and raise that expectation of when you get to tournaments like this and international level, there is a standard and an expectation that they need to reach.
It's interesting that you differentiate between the fielding standards of overseas player and Indian players. Do you think that there hasn't historically been a lot of attention that has been given to fielding as far as Indian cricket circuit is concerned?
I'm unsure. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I can't answer that question. I think a lot of the differences internationally over the years have been some teams are slightly weaker in fielding and the like, and that's just how the game goes, right? So the more girls at domestic level can be introduced to these sorts of tournaments, the crowds, the expectations and the standards that the overseas will set, or international cricketers as a whole will set, the better for the game, the better for Indian cricket as a whole. And yeah, I mean, internationally India are fantastic in the field, so it just shows that these tournaments are working.
Now, you've had a very decorated international career, but this is your first stint with an IPL team as a coach. Are you going forward thinking about whether the team would progress to either the final or win the championship, or do you keep your job match to match, player to player?
I have to keep it match to match. I fault myself in my career that I probably looked a little bit too far ahead. So as a coach, I make it my mission to just go player to player, match to match, and make sure that everyone is set. So come that first game on the 10th, everyone is completely prepared.
All right. Thank you so much, Ms. Sara. So much. One of the important things that people thought of when WPL came about was the platform that it will give to uncapped or young Indian players and accelerate their chances to make their way through to the Indian team. And one example that stands tall in that list is that of Kashvi Gautam, who had a tremendous season last year and has been one of the young players to look forward to. Kashvi, you had a brilliant first season, but this team still couldn't touch the silverware. This time around, of course, you'd be very passionate to make sure that you come out as a champion.
Yes, sir. We are already looking forward that we are all rooting for the same goal to bring the trophy home this year. And the combination is really good. We have such good combination of young players with experienced World Cup winners who are Australia is there, Australian players. Sophie is there, Renuka is there. So we are really looking forward to it.
You got your India call after the last season's WPL. Did that change something in the way you would approach the games this year?
Yeah, sir. I think it's about making an impact. If you make if a young player makes an impact at such a high level, the selectors see you as asset for the Indian team. So I'll be looking forward to it. Just to make impacts, to get the breakthroughs, to hit the winning runs. So do I make an impact for the team.
Ashvi, I do not want to talk about the price tag, but when you were bought by Gujarat Giants in 2024, all the eyebrows were raised. Everyone was looking forward to who this young player is. Did that put any pressure on you? Does that pressure still persist?
I think, sir, it's about when things go in your way, that pressure it's off. So I think it's about getting the things right at the right time, and you feel confident, you have your self belief, and the things are done.
Thank you so much. Kashvi Gautam, all the best for your season. हमारे साथ फिलहाल अडानी स्पोर्ट्स लाइन के CBO मिस्टर संजय अडेसरा सर है. सर, आप एक तरीके से इस टीम को एक दूर से थर्ड पर्सन पर्सपेक्टिव से मैनेज कर रहे हो. पहले 3 सीज़न अब तक टीम ट्रॉफी टच नहीं कर पाई है, बट आपने काफ़ी सारे प्लेयर्स को बैक किया है, सपोर्ट किया है. किस फिलॉसफी के साथ मैनेजमेंट आगे बढ़ रहा है गुजरात जायंट्स के साथ?
आई थिंक मैनेजमेंट की तरफ से हमारे लोगों का जो एक फंडामेंटल अप्रोच है वुमेंस क्रिकेट के लिए, वी आर सपोर्टिंग द यंग प्लेयर्स. काफ़ी सारे यंग प्लेयर्स को हम सपोर्ट करें पिछली 2-3 सीज़नों से, एंड वी आर स्टिल कंटिन्यूइंग दैट अप्रोच. इवन अगर आप इस साल देखेंगे कि यास्तिका भाटिया जो कि एक इंजर्ड प्लेयर है, बट हमें लगा कि शी डिज़र्व्स मच मोर देन दैट, तो उनको एक सीज़न मिस ना हो, उसलिए भी गुजरात ने इस बार यास्तिका को लिया. जब हमने काशवी को भी लिया था सीज़न 2 में, इमीडिएटली आफ्टर द ऑक्शन उनका इंजरी हो गया था, वो पूरा सीज़न नहीं खेल पाए थी. तो वी बिलीव सपोर्टिंग, गिविंग द यंग टैलेंट्स टू द कंट्री and women cricket, and I having at the same time we have many experienced players. Our World Cup winner Renuka, Ashley Gardner, lot of senior players are there. So as a overall squad काफ़ी अच्छा बैलेंस स्क्वाड है, जिसमें काफ़ी सारे नए प्लेयरों को भी खेलने का मौका मिलेगा और काफ़ी सारे यंग टैलेंट मिलेंगे कंट्री को.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. I have with me the captain of Gujarat Giants, Ashley Gardner. You started captaining the team last year, and that was the first time the team reached the playoffs. Now, you've had tremendous success overseas in international tournaments, but even in the first 3 seasons of Gujarat Giants, you've been a little far from touching the silverware. Will the philosophy of captaining change this year?
No. Obviously being a captain the first time last year, I just wanted to stay true to who I was and, trying to have an influence on the players around me, trying to instill confidence, trying to stay really calm out there on the field. So I think for me it's being able to understand, how we got to that point, understanding also that we have a very different squad this year. I think this is the best squad that we've had so far. So being able to be involved in every season, I've kind of seen the team go from strength to strength. So I guess knowing that I've got a lot of confidence in the players that we've got within this squad this year is certainly pleasing as a captain. We've got plenty of options, which I guess always makes my life a little bit easier. So I just think it's about giving all those players confidence, making sure that everyone feels just as valued as the next person, and making sure that people are having fun at the end of the day.
I want to understand, how do you approach a tournament of this nature? Do you go match per match, or do you give a very clear brief to the team about where would you want to reach ultimately?
There's no denying that every team here wants to win. So I think you need to stay really present in what that looks like. So that's staying game to game, being able to reflect on what that looks like, whether it's a win or loss. So for me, it's being able to focus on the small things, not look at the bigger picture too soon, making sure that we're focusing on the next opponent. So for us, it's being able to do that, and then just taking confidence out of if we don't win games, making sure that we reflect on the positives, and there's always going to be lots of learnings that come out of it as well. So making sure that that's always at the forefront of our minds. And then ultimately we want to lift the trophy at the end of the season.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
रेणुका, अगर आप बात करें वर्ल्ड कप के बाद एक बड़ा टूर्नामेंट आ रहा है वापस इन एक्शन, इंडियन प्लेयर्स वापस एक्शन में दिखेंगे, अभी आपको कैसा ये फेज़ रहा है, कितना आपने एंजॉय करा है, कितना आप प्रिपेयर कर पाए हैं कॉम्पिटिटिव क्रिकेट को खेलने के लिए, जो कि आगे T20 वर्ल्ड कप भी है, अभी 6 महीने दूरी है?
मैंने तो बहुत इन्जॉय किया, मैंने कहा पूरी टीम ने काफ़ी इन्जॉय किया है। और उसके बाद अभी सीरीज़ खेल का है, तो सब लोग 1 महीने का इन्जॉयमेंट हो गई थी ख़त्म, बट हमें मैसेज आया था कि यार अब सीरीज़ आ रही है, तो अभी सब लोग जो श्रीलंका सीरीज़ खेली थी उससे पहले प्रिपरेशन शुरू कर दी थी सब लोग अपन में, क्योंकि अभी पता है सबको नेक्स्ट गोल क्या है। क्योंकि अभी ऐसा हो गया कि हमने चेंजेस काफ़ी देखे वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के बाद, ऑब्वियसली हम चाहेंगे कि अब जो हमारा स्टैंडर्ड है वो वहीं पर रहे।
और अभी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में थोड़ी देर काफ़ी पहले से भी सुनते आ रहे हैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन मेंटालिटी। इंडिया के पास वर्ल्ड कप है, इंडिया का भी एक स्टैंडिंग है, इंडिया है स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले, आप लोगों ने एक सेट कर दिया बेंचमार्क, तो उसको नज़र में रखते हुए अभी आती जनरेशन के लिए WPL इंडियन प्लेयर्स आप लोगों को खेलते हुए देखना इस WPL से कितना डिफरेंट रहेगा आपके ख्याल से?
उनका माइंडसेट तो एक्चुअली माइंडसेट जानना चाहते हैं, ऑब्वियसली कि बड़े बड़े लेजेंड से मिलते हो तो सबका माइंडसेट डिफरेंट रहता है। लाइक मैंने RCB में पेरी से काफ़ी ज़्यादा बात की थी कि आप कैसे इतने वर्ल्ड कप जीतते हो, तो वो चीज़ मुझे वर्ल्ड कप में काम आई। तो ऐसा रहता है कि अगर तुम नई जगह जा रहे हो तो मुझे तो ऐसा लगता है पर्सनली तुम कुछ ना कुछ सीखने को मिलता है और तुम ग्रो करते हो लाइफ में, भले ही तुम उनसे 1% की चीज़ सीखो, बट वो कहीं ना कहीं मेरे काम आएगी। तो मेरा माइंडसेट सिंपल रहता है कि मैं किसी भी फ्रेंचाइजी में जाऊँ, जो भी लेजेंड है इतने सारे मैचेस जीता है, लाइक गार्डनर इतने सारे वर्ल्ड कप जीते, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, इवन सारा आई है, तो एक विनर का माइंडसेट डिफरेंट रहता है कि वो प्रेशर सिचुएशन में आप लोग क्या करते थे, तो वो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ी नॉलेज जान के अच्छा रहता है।
रेणुका जी, आपका पर्सनल परफॉर्मेंस आपके एक्सपेक्टेशन के मुताबिक शायद नहीं रहा होगा पहले कुछ WPL सीजन्स में, क्या उसके ऊपर अभी एक अलग से ध्यान देने की कोशिश हो रही है?
हाँ, वो तो बिल्कुल नहीं रहा है, क्योंकि जो मैंने सोचा था कि यार मुझे ये बेटर करना है, ये बेटर का, बट जो चीज़ चली गई है मैं उसका ज़्यादा सोच नहीं सकती। बट मेरा फोकस अभी आगे के मैचेस के लिए कि मैं क्या बेटर कर सकती हूँ, और अभी मैं थोड़ा प्रिपेयर हूँ कि हाँ फर्स्ट सीज़न में मेरे से क्या मिस्टेक हुई है, तो अभी जो भी आने वाले मैचेस है मेरा माइंडसेट, मैं थोड़ा मेंटली स्ट्रांग रहने की ट्राई करूँ, क्योंकि मुझे याद है फर्स्ट सीज़न में थोड़ा मैं मेंटली काफ़ी वीक थी, तो मैंने उस चीज़ पे काफ़ी काम किया है।
वर्ल्ड कप के बाद ये चीज़ें मेंटली जो स्ट्रॉन्ग की आप बात कर रहे हैं, वर्ल्ड कप जीतने के बाद ये और कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ा है और वो चीज़ WPL में भी रिफ्लेक्ट होगी अभी?
क्रिकेट ऐसी गेम है कि ज़्यादा ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस भी तुम्हें मरवा देता है, तो ऐसा है कि तुम बेसिक से स्टार्ट करना पड़ता है। जो हो गया वो सब लोग ठीक है भूल जाते हैं, सब चीज़ फ्रेश स्टार्ट करना पड़ता है हर चीज़ के लिए, चाहे जो भी है, क्योंकि ऑब्वियसली इंडियन क्राउड चाहेगी कि अब कुछ डिफरेंट मिले, क्योंकि पता है कि अगर एक भी चीज़ मतलब लाइक हार जाते हैं तो क्रिटिसाइज इतना ज़्यादा मिलता है। बट वही है कि हर किसी एज अ फैन अगर मैं भी सोचूंगी, मैं भी यही चाहूँगी कि एवरी टाइम जीत जाए हम लोग, वो एक रहते हैं उन लोगों का। तो मैं भी यही सोचती हूँ कि जो भी पुराना है वो चले गया, अब मुझे फ्रेश स्टार्ट करना है।
आपका WPL खेलते हुए एज अ बॉलर सीखने और सिखाने का कितना मिला, क्योंकि इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर्स आते हैं, इंटरनेशनल बॉलर्स के साथ आप खेलते हैं, तो सीखने के हिसाब से भी और सिखाने के हिसाब से भी क्या रहेंगे?
मुझे पसंद है सब जगह जाके थोड़ा थोड़ा सीखना, क्योंकि कहीं ना कहीं छोटी छोटी चीज़ कहीं ना कहीं वर्क करती है, तो मेरे को बहुत पसंद है। और सिखाना लाइक कोई भी आता है तो मैं उनको गाइड करती हूँ कि क्या करना चाहिए, क्या माइंडसेट था, मैं इस टाइम पे ये करती थी, ये मतलब अपनी एक्सपीरियंस शो करती हूँ। अगर कोई भी ऐसे पूछने आता है, ज़्यादातर मेरा ऐसे रहता है कि मैं सबसे ज़्यादा सीख सकूँ ताकि मैं अप्लाई कर सकूँ कहीं ना कहीं तो एटलीस्ट। थैंक यू।